Hello, and thank you for joining us for Panduit's Product Preview Day, featuring the Base-8 and Base-16 fiber cabling systems. Discover how our systems can help save capital expenses, rack space, and power requirements. These fiber cables are extremely versatile and can be used in a variety of settings, including enterprise, co-location data centers, or simple equipment closets. After the presentation today, we will be taking questions from the audience. If you would like to submit a question, please feel free to do so in the question function, and we will get to as many questions as we are able to within the time allotted. If we are unable to get to your question today, we will follow up at a later time. And now I will turn it over to Ed Howe.
Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name's Ed Howe. I'm a product manager for fiber connectivity on the data center side of Panduit's business unit. And today we're here to talk about our new Base-8 offering. So as you had seen in the video, I'm sure there's a note that we offer these in all three form factors of cassettes. And let me show you what these are. So first we have the Opticom cassette. This has two MPO8s in the back, as you can see here, that breaks out into two sets of 4 duplex LCs on the front. This is intended to run again in breakout mode. So say we've got a 100 gig SR4 coming in the back, and it breaks out to 4 25 gig duplex LCs on the front. So this is Opticom. Then we also have SFQ, small form factor QuickNet, the same type of cassette as you can see here, 4-to-1 breakout. And our most popular version is the HD Flex 4-port cassette that you can see here. This provides the highest density, up to 144 fibers per RU, and allows you to run without any wasted space. So how are these used? In the cabinet behind me, what you can see is a top-of-rack switch, and we've got 8 ports that are connected with MPO8 connectivity. That is going into the back of an adapter panel, and we have harnesses. In this particular instance, they're 4-to-1, so 1 MPO to 4 LCs. And what we're able to do is take those 8 switch ports and feed 32 servers top to bottom of this cabinet. So that efficiency there running in breakout mode is one of the ways that we obtain the power savings. So we've, in our labs, verified up to 60% power savings by running a switch in breakout mode as opposed to having each port feed a device individually. That also equates to rack savings. So by using 4-to-1 breakouts, we're able to use 75% less switches, again, because every port is feeding 4 devices. So we had mentioned the HD Flex cassette allows you to maintain 144 fibers per RU, and this is with the MPO at the back. What we have found is that in cases like this, where you're dressing out a top-of-rack switch, right, and back of a server cabinet, we've got the connectivity up top. Instead of running cables around the back to get into that cassette, what we also offer are front access cassettes. So as you can see here, we've got the MPO and the LC connectivity on the front of this cassette. This allows us to mount this up here at the top of the rack and does not require cabling to go around the back. This is user, or I should say installation friendly, dresses out incredibly well, and provides the same benefits as the cassettes with the MPOs at the rear. To hold true to offering in all three form factors, we've got a fully loaded panel here where you can see with Opticom and the front access ports for the MPOs, as well as the small form factor QuickNet. Again, front access option for the top of your server cabinet. What this allows you to do, and as we'll transition over to the slide now that shows you, you can take essentially 16 cabinets with a top-of-rack switch in each one of them and consolidate that down to 4 switches in the middle of the row. So I thought that slide did a pretty good job of summarizing quite well visually the benefits of running your switches in breakout mode and using Panduit cassettes to distribute that connectivity through a cabinet. So speaking of connectivity, the other piece of the offering is our assemblies. So for Base-8, we offer the Pan MPO connector. As I'm sure you know, this is the only connector that can change polarity and gender in the field literally with no tools, but there is a separate video for more information on that. Trunk assemblies, MPO to MPO jumpers, and then the final piece of the assembly offering are the harnesses that we have here shown in the cabinet that break out the MPO into 4 duplex LCs. If you'd like more information on Panduit's Base-8 offering, we encourage you to visit our landing page, which is www.panduit.com/base-8. And you will find everything there you need regarding information on the offering, how to configure assemblies through our online configurator, spec sheets, and all the other collateral that we have to offer. Now that we've reviewed Panduit's Base-8 offering, let's take a quick look at Panduit's new Base-16 offering. So instead of, as we had said before, the MPOs carrying 8 fibers in Base-8 and the little cassettes that we had looked at, the Base-16 uses something different, which is an MPO 16 connector. Now, this is relatively new to the market. You'll notice that the APC green housing indicates this is an angled connector, MPO 16 on Aqua OM4 cable. So this is the first angled multi-mode connector on the market, to be honest with you. The benefit of this is we had talked Base-8. Each switch port can feed 4 devices, right? In Base-16, each switch port can feed 8 separate devices. This harness that I have here, as you can see, is MPO-16, and like I had said, to 8 LCs. So the power efficiency that we had talked about earlier is further improved when you run something like this, an SR8 type of application in breakout mode. What is the other use for MPO-16? Ultra high speed connectivity. So we're seeing this in machine learning, high performance computing, artificial intelligence. This connector is the key to running 400 gig, 800 gig, and soon to be 1.6 terabytes on fiber. So if you do not want to use a harness, as you'll see in the cabinet behind me, we've got HD Flex Base-16 cassettes that do the breakout for you. So there is an MPO in the back, and you can see on the front here, we have 8 duplex LCs, and the breakout is essentially happening in the cassette. Now you can run these from cassette to trunk to cassette if you wanted to, or the more popular application, as we show here, is to break that down into 8 separate ports on LCs. So as we had mentioned, these cassettes break out the MPO-16 into 8 duplex LCs on the front. Now what you may notice here is on the right side, we have some areas here that do not have connectivity. So we're not maintaining, or by design, those cassettes don't hold 144 fibers per RU. We're at 96 fibers per RU. If holding 144 per RU is a requirement for you, another part of our offering that you'll see here is an MPO-16 to 2 PAN-MPO-8 connectors. This assembly allows you to run from 800 gig to 2 400 gig switch devices, so direct connect. Or you can take this assembly, plug the MPO-16 into the switch, take the 2 PAN-MPO-8s, and put them into the back of the Base-8 cassettes that we had discussed in a separate video. And you can see that right here. And by doing this, we're able to break out the MPO-16 into duplex LCs at full 144 fibers per RU. So one final note on the assemblies. They are available in multi-mode, as you can see here, but we also offer them in single mode. So the single mode assemblies also support 400 gig, 800 gig, 1.6 tera. We have coupler panels, or what we call fiber adapter panels, that will mate MPO-16 to MPO-16. And that about rounds out our offering. So for more information, please visit the landing page for our Base-16. That's at www.panduit.com/base-16.
Thanks, Ed. At this time, we will transition to our Q&A session. Again, if you would like to submit a question, please use the question function in GoToWebinar, and we will get as many questions as possible answered within the time allotted. If we are unable to get to your question today, we will be following up with you at a later time. Okay, Ed, we have our first question for you. Is Base-8 fiber used only for breakout applications?
No, I know we emphasize the benefits of breakouts, but Base-8 can be used in a cassette trunk cassette link. The most popular use of the MPO-12 today, but the benefit there is when you upgrade and you remove those cassettes, you only have 8 fibers populated in that trunk, and you're not wasting, if you will, any fibers when you make that upgrade.
Next question that we have, do I have to use all new cabling to support Base-16?
Well, we said Base-16, that MPO-16 is an angled surface, has an offset key, so you would think you would need to run all new cabling. However, we do offer conversion cassettes, and what that'll do is take 3 of the Base-16 trunks and convert them into 4 Base-12 trunks so that you can utilize your existing 12 fiber cabling to run Base-16 applications like 4 and 800 gig in a pinch. We wouldn't want to do this in a massive scale across a whole data center, but for switch-to-switch applications, where you've got less runs, that is definitely a viable option. Again, those are the conversion cassettes.
Next question that we have is a PAN-MPO connector that changes gender and polarity in the field available for Base-16?
No. We do not have the gender and polarity changing version in Base-16 today. That's something that we're monitoring, but it is not available today.
Okay. Will I need new enclosures to run Base-8 or Base-16?
You should not need new enclosures, no. As we had said, both of these offerings are available across our platform of enclosures. If you had, let's say, HD Flex, you're able to use the double wide, as we call it, or that 12-port cassette in any enclosure. You may just need to remove one of the removable rails. No problem there. And then for like our Opticom offering, we offer lower density solutions in both Base-8 and Base-16 that fit right into the existing openings. So the short answer is no, you will not need new enclosures for Base-8 or 16.
That's all of our questions, Ed. Any final thoughts you want to give on Base-8 or Base-16?
Well, just keep in mind the benefits that we had highlighted with Base-8. The reduction in switches and the cooling power and et cetera. And then remember for Base-16, where you're targeting the ultra high speed 400, 800 gig, and like we had said, that's perfect for AI and machine learning. But that's all, Ashley. Thank you.